Hey guys, it's Mr. Ellen with the Wayne County Public Library, and we are going to talk about Indians, Thanksgiving, Pilgrims, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So the Indians that were at Plymouth Rock were actually the Wampanoag Indians. So fun fact, because me and Heather were talking about this before we started filming, the name Wampanoag means people of the first light. So before 1600, about 16,000 Wampanoag Indians lived in more than 60 villages there. They lived on the southeastern Massachusetts and eastern Rhode Island. So this is just a neat nonfiction book that we have about the Wampanoag Indians, what they do. You can see their lifestyle. It is written by Janet Reiki, and then it's published by Bridgestone Books. Just that way, because we gave a cool fact and it was her information. So, our fun little thing that we're going to go over again today, can you tell me what that is? Everybody's probably sick of seeing those because I am. It's a pumpkin! Good job. So, pumpkin. And what is that again? Mayflower. Good job. Or you can say ship because it came over on the water. So, what is that? It's a piece of pie. It's pumpkin pie. Good job. And then, what is that? Corn. Good job. It's an ear of corn, or ears of corn. And here's my little friend. You remember what he was? Pilgrim. Good job. And this little friend. Indian. Good job. And they become good friends over Thanksgiving feast. And what is that little guy? It is a turkey. Good job. We eat these at Thanksgiving. It's nice little animal. It's okay. So, November. What we're going to talk about. The Pilgrims came to America on a ship called the Mayflower. That's the little ship I just showed you. They came to build their homes where they would be free to act and do anything in their own way. Everything was different in this new land. Just imagine leaving all of your friends and everybody else and going somewhere completely new where you didn't know anybody, where the nearest Walmart was. Like, it would be nuts. The people who already lived here we call American Indians or Native Americans. So that was the Wampanoags. They became the Pilgrims' friends. The American Indians helped the Pilgrims learn new ways to grow and find food. So they helped them grow corn, they helped them find turkeys, bear, moose, elk, you name it. The Pilgrims were very thankful when they had enough food. They were thankful for the help that they received from their new friends, which was very nice for the American Indians or Native Americans to help them because they didn't have to. The American Indians and the Pilgrims gathered together for a feast to share their food with each other and celebrate their new friendship, which is great because we all deserve to have a friend. So, our Pilgrim Story. The group of people now known as Pilgrims were very unhappy about events that were taking place in their hometown or home country, England. That's where they came from. There was not much that they could do. So, like if you just couldn't do anything that you wanted to do in your own way, I mean, you'd be pretty upset too. The Pilgrims set sail for Amsterdam and they landed and settled in Holland where they were warmly welcomed. Then they soon realized, however, that they could not stay there unless if they were willing to give up their English customs and their language. So they'd have to completely change, which you probably wouldn't want to have to do that either because you're going to have to learn a whole new way. The decision was made to set sail for North America where they would establish their own community and preserve the English language and just keep on going with it. After much difficulty, they were able to finance and supply two ships, the Speedwell and the Mayflower. They then began their journey across the Atlantic Ocean. Unfortunately, the Speedwell soon began to develop a leak and both ships had to return to the port where they were. On September 6, 1620, the Mayflower set sail alone with 102 people aboard. This was a difficult time for Pilgrims. Food was scarce and consisted mostly of only salted meat and dry biscuits, which would be really hard to live off of because we're used to such a variety of chips and candy and all kinds of other stuff. They were unable to build fires for either cooking or warmth for fear of burning down the ship, which I don't blame them. Many became ill due to these poor conditions. One happy event that did take place during the voyage was that a baby was born to the Hopkins family and they suitably named him Oceanus because he was born on the ocean. That was something neat I learned. Land was first sighted on November 11th, but it was not until, which is today, that's neat, because today's November 11th. Land was first sighted on November 11th, but it was not until November 21st, 1620 that they dropped the anchor and they began to settle and build near the present-day area of a Provincetown, Massachusetts. Before leaving the ship, all of the men signed the Mayflower Compact and an agreement stating that they were still loyal to the King of England, but they would settle their own laws and provide for their general good and welfare with their families. So basically they still were under him, but they had free reign, so they did whatever. Their first winter was extremely difficult. There was little food, and their simple shelters provided little relief from the cold. The Pilgrims quickly made friends with the Native Americans, who taught them to build stronger houses and how to hunt for food. When spring finally arrived, the Pilgrims went straight to work plowing the land and planting the seeds that they had carried from England. A Native American named Squanto became a very good friend and helped with the planting of the seeds. When harvest came, there were more than enough fruits and vegetables to store for the next winter, which is great. The Pilgrims were so thankful that they decided to invite their Native American friends for a feast for Thanksgiving. On the day of the feast, the Pilgrims covered the tables with good things to eat from their gardens. The Native Americans brought wild turkeys, game, and shellfish, such as clams, oysters, that'd be hard, lobsters. I don't know if I could do that on Thanksgiving. Before the feast began, everybody said thanks. This was the first Thanksgiving, and it was a very joyous occasion which lasted for 3 days, which me and Heather found to be fascinating because that's a long 3 days to eat that much food. Today, Thanksgiving is a legal holiday celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November. In millions of homes across America, families reunite and remember to give thanks for all the good that has been given to them. So friends, family, food, a house, a bed to sleep in, animals, anything that you can put your mind in or think of, books, school. I mean, you could go on. The list is endless. Hospitals. I mean, you just give thanks because you're thankful that you have people to rely on that will help you like that. So, with that being said, the first book that we are going to read is The Very First Thanksgiving Day. It is written by Rhonda Growler Green. And the paintings, which I found was neat because it's not even illustrated, it's painted. Paintings by Suzanne Gaber. And the book is published by Anthem Books for Young Readers. So, this is the very first Thanksgiving Day. It's really pretty. This is the food gathered and thanked for, the corn and sweet berries, the wild turkey dressed and shared on the very first Thanksgiving Day. I like their outfits and how everything looks. It's just really pretty. So these are the Indians, or Native Americans, skillful and strong, who knew how to live through the winter so long and ate of the food gathered and thanked for. These are the Pilgrims who farmed the new land, who steadfastly labored and toiled by hand, and learned from the Indians that were skillful and strong. These are the houses built in straight rows that stood in the hot sun and harsh winter snows and sheltered the Pilgrims who farmed the new land. This is the harbor marketed by a huge stone where first steps were taken to chart the unknown, not far from the houses built in the straight rows. I wonder if there was more snow back then because it would be different than now. This is the Mayflower ship in full sail that weathered the rough seas, the wind, and the hail, and docked in the harbor marked by the huge stone. This is the ocean that never would end, that sometimes was foe and sometimes was friend, that carried the Mayflower ship in full sail. This is the land where it all began, the land where a brave group made ready their plan to travel the ocean that would never end, that sometimes was foe and sometimes was friend. That carried the Mayflower ship in full sail, that weathered the rough seas, the wind, and the hail. I would not like that. I would be scared. And docked in the harbor marked by a huge stone, where first steps were taken to chart the unknown. Not far from the houses built in straight rows, that stood in the hot sun and harsh winter snows, and sheltered the pilgrims who formed the new land, who steadfastly labored and toiled by hand. And learned from the Indians, skillful and strong, who knew how to live through the winters that were so long. And ate of the food gathered and blessed, the corn and the sweet berries, the wild turkey, and dressed. Shared on the very first Thanksgiving Day. I really like the pictures in that book, the paintings I should say, because she did a really good job. Our next book is Run, Turkey, Run, so I'm going to need help because we're going to make this turkey run. It is by Diane Mayer, so she wrote the words, and the illustrations, which are the pictures, are by Laura Rader. And it is published by Walker and Company in New York. Turkey is having a terrible day, which I would too if I was a turkey. It's the day before Thanksgiving, but Turkey won't be giving thanks, not unless he manages to escape. And we say, run, turkey, run! Clompity clomp, here comes the farmer. You better run. Yep. Oh, see the pig pen? If Turkey rolls around in the mud, do you think the farmer will think he's a pig? Maybe. He looks awful in the mud. I don't think I want a turkey with mud all over him. No! Run, turkey, run! Muckety muck, here comes the farmer. That just looks bad. Look, the duck pond. If Turkey swims in the water, will the farmer think that he's a duck? Do you think he could pass it? I don't think he even has his head above water. No! Run, turkey, run! Splashity splash, here comes the farmer. Here's the place, the horse barn. If Turkey sticks his head in the feed bucket, will the farmer think that he's a horse? He's too little. No! Run, turkey, run! Clankety clank, here comes the farmer. I think I'd give up if I was a farmer. Turkey can't fool the farmer. He knows his animals. What's Turkey to do? Run from the farmyard. He's got to go. Run, turkey, run! Crunchity crunch, here comes the farmer. Trees. If Turkey covers himself with branches, will the farmer think that he's a tree? Maybe. The farmer doesn't see him. Can it be? Is Turkey safe at last? Yes. Thanksgiving Day comes. The farmer and his family eat peas, mashed potatoes, and grilled cheese sandwiches. I guess if you had to, it'd be okay. Turkey gives thanks. Thanksgiving Day goes. The farmer and his family are picking out their Christmas tree. And the farmer pounds the turkey. Run, turkey, run! Thanksgiving is going on, but Christmas is coming up. That's the end of that little cute story. Our next story is The Littlest Pilgrim, not our. The Littlest Pilgrim. It is written by Brandy Daughtry. So she wrote the words. The pictures are illustrated by Kristen Richards, so she drew the pictures, and it is published by Scholastic. Minnie was a pilgrim. She lived with her family in a small village. There were many pilgrims in her village, but Minnie was the littlest one. Even though she was small, Minnie tried to help with the village chores. One day, Minnie decided to be extra helpful. Minnie found her big brother by the house. He was stacking wood for the winter. She wanted to help. Look, brother, Minnie said. I am helping to make a wood pile. But Minnie's brother was too busy to notice her. Minnie went inside the house and found her big sister. She was mending a dress. I'm ready to sew, said Minnie. Sorry, Minnie, said her sister. You are too little to help with mending. Go help Mama. I am busy. So Minnie went outside to help her mother. She was at the oven baking bread for dinner. "Look, Mama," said Minnie, "I am helping." But Minnie's mother was so busy making bread, she didn't even hear Minnie. Minnie went to find her father. Surely he would want some help. He was getting ready to hunt for food in the forest. "Sorry, Minnie, you are too little for hunting," Minnie's father said when he saw her. "Why don't you go pick some berries for us to eat?" As Minnie walked toward the berry bushes, she spotted her neighbor. He was fixing the door to his house. "I can help," Minnie started to say. "Sorry, Minnie, this is a big job and you are too little." Minnie wandered through the village. She was sad. Minnie just wanted to help, but everyone was too busy to notice, or they thought the jobs were too big and Minnie was too little. It wasn't fair. Minnie walked toward the water. She spotted some boys from her village. They were fishing. "Can I help you fish?" Minnie asked one of the boys. He laughed. "Sorry, Minnie, you are too little for fishing." Now Minnie was very sad. Why would no one let her help? Minnie knew there had to be something special she could do, even if she was little. Minnie started to walk home, and she saw some berries along the way. As she picked them, she heard something rustling in the leaves. Minnie moved closer to get a better look. There at the edge of the forest stood a girl. And she was little, just like Minnie. "Hello," said Minnie. "What's your name?" The girl stood still and looked at Minnie. She didn't say a word. Minnie remembered the berries she held in her hand. "Do you want one?" she asked. At first, the girl just stared at Minnie, but soon she began to smile a very big smile. Minnie was too little for many things, but she was not too little to make a friend. The end. Oh, that was such a cute little story. Our next book is interactive, and I'll need your help. So we have 10 little turkeys, so we have 5 and 5. That's 10. So 10 fat little turkeys. It is written by Tony Johnston, so he wrote the words, and the pictures are illustrated by Rich Diaz, so he drew the pictures, and it is published by Scholastic. Gobble, gobble, wobble, wobble, do a noodle dance. 10 fat turkeys fooling on a fence. That will fall off. "Looky," says a silly turkey swinging from a vine. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble, whoops, now there are 9 turkeys. "Looky," squawks a goofy turkey trying to roller skate. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble. Now there are 8. "Looky," calls Foofy turkey, flapping to blue heaven. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble. Oopsie, there are 7. "Looky," cries another turkey, balancing some bricks. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble. Uh-oh, now there are, I like this. It's an easy remember. 6. "Looky," hoots a brother turkey, swan in a swan dive. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble. Ooh, no, there are 5. "Looky," whoops another turkey, strutting on a boar. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble. Oh dear, now there are 4. "Looky," hollers out a turkey, swallowing a bee. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble. Mercy, there are, I don't think that would be good as a little bee. 3. "Looky," howls a goony turkey, whistling in a shoe. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble. Uh-oh, now there are 2. "Looky," shouts a loony turkey, blowing bubble gum. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble, pop. Oh, now there's 1. "Looky," yells the plumpest turkey, jumping up and down. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble, that's all. There are none. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble, do a noodle dance. No more turkeys. Crash, bang. I don't know what happened to them. And no more fence. Makes sense. Just a minute, what is this? Bibble babble, jibble jobble, looky, look at me. 10 fat turkeys falling in a tree. The end. That was a cute little book. So what we're going to do is the turkey hokey pokey. So if you're standing up, I'm sitting down, it's okay. But if you're standing up at home, you're doing this, or you're sitting down, you can do it with me. So you put your turkey toes in, you put your turkey toes out, you put your turkey toes in and you shake them all about. You do the turkey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Gobble, gobble. You put your wing in, you put your wing out, you put your wing in and you shake it all about. You do the turkey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Gobble, gobble. You put your turkey head in, you put your turkey head out. You put your turkey head in and you shake it all about. You do the turkey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Gobble, gobble. And then if you're standing or sitting, because I'm sitting, we'll just use our arms again. You put your tail feathers in, you put your tail feathers out. You put your tail feathers in and you shake them all about. You do the turkey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Gobble, gobble. I am thankful. It's a book by, it's a positive power story, so we need some positivity. I am thankful. It is written by Susie Capozzi. So she wrote the words, and the pictures are illustrated by Aaron Uthane. And it is published by Rodale Kids. There is no school today. Hooray! I am thankful that I can stay in bed. Pops wakes me up anyway. We have a lot to do. I am thankful that my pop lives with us. Today is Thanksgiving. First, we help Mom make pies. Pops chops the apples. I peel sweet potatoes. Sweet potato pie is my favorite. Next, we head to the firehouse. Dad has to work today. I am thankful for what my dad and his crew do to help keep us safe. We help the firefighters. I peel more potatoes. Soon it is time for our town's turkey trot. Some people walk, some people run. We all have fun. I zoom by Pops. He cheers for everyone. It starts to drizzle. I slip on some wet leaves and fall. Another runner helps me. We finish the race. I am thankful for my new friend. Pops and I head home. My cousins are here, the whole family. We play football after we eat. We do this every year. For now, we kids just practice. Oh no, it starts to pour. We go inside, we watch football and play games. It is cozy and warm. More family arrives. It gets very loud and a little crowded. I check on Great Gran. She sits in her chair by the window. She likes the quiet. Great Gran points outside. The leaves go round and round. They dance in the wind. She always spots something special. I am so thankful for Great Gran. It is time to eat. Everyone takes a turn or seat at the table. We settle down. We are very thankful for the tasty food. We are thankful for everyone at the table. And we are thankful for our loved ones who are not with us. After dinner, we all help clean up. At last, Dad is home. He has great news. The rain has stopped, the wind dried the grass, and the sun is out. We play football. But we take a time out to eat some pie too. Yum. I am so thankful. What are you thankful for? Can you think of 3 examples? And then you can tell me your 3 examples. Mine are friends, family, and a place to be or place to live. So you can give the same ones or you can give different ones. That's the end of that cute little story. Our next story is Amelia Bedelia Talks Turkey. And it is written by, the words were done by Herman Parrish, and the pictures were drawn by Lynn Sweet. And it is published by Green Willow Books, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. It was a cool, crisp morning in November. Amelia, Bedelia, and Cousin Alcolu brought a visitor to school. May I help you? Asked a woman. I hope so, said Amelia Bedelia. The principal, Miss Bloom, wants a pumpkin for your Thanksgiving pageant. Are you Amelia Bedelia? Said the woman. That's me, said Amelia Bedelia, and this is Cousin Alcolu. Hello there, said the woman. Mrs. Bloom asked me to meet you. I am Mrs. Carson, the acting principal. You convinced me, said Amelia Bedelia. Will you play a principal in the pageant? I am not playing a part, said Mrs. Carson. I am the principal until Mrs. Bloom returns. Well, where did she go? Asked Cousin Alcolu. Flew, she said, Miss Carson. Flew, said Amelia Bedelia. Where did she fly? She did not catch a plane, said Mrs. Carson. She caught a virus. Every third grade teacher is out sick. That's awful, said Cousin Alcolu. It gets worse, said Miss Carson. The third graders are supposed to put on the Thanksgiving pageant in a few days. I'm afraid we'll have to cancel it. I'd be so happy to help them, said Miss Amelia Bedelia. You would? What a relief, said Mrs. Carson. Can I help out too? Said Cousin Alcolu. I'm real handy at building things. This is wonderful, said Mrs. Carson. Let's go to the auditorium. I will introduce you to the children. On the way, Mrs. Carson showed off the artwork. A few students are absent, she said. Others are new or need parts. You'll have to juggle them all around. I don't think she should have put it that way. The stage was filled with third graders. Attention, everyone, said Mrs. Carson. Gather around and meet Amelia Bedelia. She is here to help you rehearse your play. Listen to her and do exactly what she says. The kids stared at Amelia Bedelia. You all look nice, said Amelia Bedelia. But why are you wearing costumes now? The pageant isn't until a couple of days away. This is a dress rehearsal, said a boy. Is that so? Said Amelia Bedelia. Then why aren't you wearing a dress? Everyone giggled. Because I play Miles Standish, said the boy. But you look more like a pilgrim than I do. Thank you for saying that, said Amelia Bedelia. You make me feel right at home. There's one difference, said a girl. Your shoes don't have buckles. She knelt down and put a pair of buckles on Amelia Bedelia's shoes. How pretty, said Amelia Bedelia. They remind me of a nursery rhyme. It goes, 1, 2, buckle my shoe, now I finally understand it. We should practice our lines, said the girl. Good idea, said Amelia Bedelia. Who wants to go first? I should, said a boy. I am the narrator. He turned toward the empty seats and began. In the year 1620, the Mayflower sailed. Wait a minute, said Amelia Bedelia. While you talk, the rest of the children can practice their lines. Line up, everybody. In no time at all, Amelia Bedelia had lined up all the third graders. There was a line of boy pilgrims, a line of girl pilgrims, a line of boy Indians, and a line of girl Indians. You sure know your lines, said Amelia Bedelia. A boy walked up and said, May I have a different part? Amelia Bedelia looked at his hair. You sure can, she said. She took a hairbrush out of her purse. She parted his hair down the middle. That's a much better part, said Amelia Bedelia. I need an important part, said a girl. My mom told me to play a big role. Amelia Bedelia thought a moment and said, There were lots of hungry pilgrims and Indians. Tell your mom that you'll play a very big role. I will make a special costume. Thanks, said the girl. She will be happy. I was not given anything to do, said a boy. Any suggestions? Asked Amelia Bedelia. My dad says I'm a big ham, he said. That's too bad, said Amelia Bedelia. Thanksgiving is for turkeys, not hams. You could star in the Easter pageant. Easter is months away, said the boy. You've got a point, said Amelia Bedelia. Let's add a ham to our Thanksgiving menu. I will make you a special costume, too. Amelia Bedelia looked at everyone's costumes. Something was missing. Aha, she said. Who is going to be the turkey? Raise your wings so I can see you. Tom was our turkey, said a girl, but he got sick and went home. Flew? Asked Cousin Alcolu. No, said the girl, he walked. Yeah, said a boy. Turkeys can't fly, that's why they wind up on the table. Wild turkeys can fly, said a tall girl. They're also very smart birds. Who are you? Asked Amelia Bedelia. My name is Diana, said the girl. "That's the new kid," said a boy. "She's the biggest turkey I ever saw." A couple of kids laughed. Amelia Bedelia ignored them. "Well, Diana," said Amelia Bedelia, "since you know so much about turkeys, how would you like to be one?" "I'll make you an extra special costume." The kids who had laughed weren't laughing now. "Great," said Diana. "I'll be your turkey." Amelia Bedelia measured Diana for her costume. "After you get dressed," she said, "you'll need some stuffing." "Every turkey does," said Diana. "Say, do you know the difference between stuffing and dressing?" "I'm not sure," said Amelia Bedelia. "There's a dressing room over there. I wonder where the stuffing room is." One of the Pilgrim girls spoke up. "Stuffing is the stuff you stuff inside of the turkey. Dressing is just the extra stuffing that couldn't be stuffed in." "Why, thank you," said Amelia Bedelia. "All I know is that after Thanksgiving, I am the one who feels stuffed." "Me too," said Diana. "Hey, Cousin Alcolu," said Amelia Bedelia. "Can you build an oven to roast the turkey?" "That's not how the Pilgrims cook," said a girl. "Their turkey was spit roasted." "Yuck," said Amelia Bedelia. "Who wants to eat a turkey roasted in spit?" A boy laughed, and then he explained. They didn't cook the turkey in spit. They cooked the turkey on a spit. And then he showed them a picture in a history book. Another boy wheeled out a cart. "Gangway," he said. "When they talk about the harvest, I'll come out to show our crops." "Good work," said Cousin Alcolu. "Can you manage that huge pumpkin?" "I think so," said the boy. "Pumpkins are just a big type of squash." "Be careful," said Amelia Bedelia. "The pumpkin weighs more than you do, and I'd hate for it to squash you." "I almost forgot," said a girl. "We need to make sweet potatoes, too." "Potatoes aren't sweet," said Amelia Bedelia. "They can be," said a boy. "My grandma makes them taste like candy." "I know what I'll do," said Amelia Bedelia. "I'll fix a batch of French fries and sprinkle them with sugar." "Sounds yummy," said Cousin Alcolu. That does not sound good. For the next few days, Amelia Bedelia solved problems big and small. Cousin Alcolu built props just the way she told him to. Finally, it was the day of the pageant. The auditorium was filled with families, friends, teachers, and other students. Best of all, the third grade teachers and principal felt well enough to come, and Mr. Rogers and Mrs. Rogers showed up to see if Amelia Bedelia needed any help. "Pardon me," said Mr. Rogers. "You look like someone who used to work at my house." "I still do," said Amelia Bedelia. "Don't I?" "He's just teasing," said Mrs. Rogers. "I deserve it," said Amelia Bedelia. "I've spent so much time with the kids." "Thank you for coming to see the pageant." The two principals joined them. "Amelia Bedelia is amazing," said Mrs. Carson. "I didn't have to worry about the pageant at all." "Hope you like our changes," said Amelia Bedelia. "Changes?" said Mrs. Bloom. "What changes?" "Some improvements," said Amelia Bedelia. "We brought the Thanksgiving story up to date." Now both principals looked very worried. "Please excuse me," said Amelia Bedelia. "Cousin Alcolu and I are the only stage hands. We have to get everything ready." "Good luck," said Mrs. Rogers. "Break a leg," said Mr. Rogers. Amelia Bedelia stopped in her tracks. She said, "You must be really mad at me if you want me to break my leg." "Of course not," said Mr. Rogers. "That is a tradition in the theater. Saying break a leg means good luck." "That is wacky," said Amelia Bedelia. "Break a leg sounds like good luck for the emergency room." Backstage, the third graders were nervous. "Everybody relax," said Amelia Bedelia. "You've rehearsed. You know what to do. Go out there and have some fun." "We'll have fun afterwards," said a girl. "The parents are giving us a cast party." "A cast party," said Amelia Bedelia. "That reminds me, nobody break a leg." The children took their places. The lights went down. The curtain went up. The audience applauded politely. The narrator walked out and began. In the year 1620, the Mayflower sailed from Europe to the New World. The Pilgrims sang out, 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, headed for the shore. The ship ran into Plymouth Rock. "Here we are," said Miles Standish. "This is the right address, 1620 Plymouth Rock. Follow me." This is hilarious. When he jumped on the Plymouth Rock, the whole thing collapsed. "Hey," said a girl, "you're supposed to land on Plymouth Rock, not flatten it." In the audience, Mr. Rogers began to laugh. and an elbow from Mrs. Rogers cured him of that. The narrator continued, the Pilgrims suffered many hardships. The winter was bitterly cold. Cousin Alcolu stood on a ladder. To represent winter, he dangled a large snowflake he had built. The snow was deep, said the narrator. Big flakes fell on Plymouth Colony. Just then, Cousin Alcolu lost his grip. Key luck, the snowflake hit the stage and rolled away. That was so cool, yelled a fourth grader. Yeah, shouted another, the snow really fell. Even some parents applauded. The narrator continued. When spring came, the Pilgrims planted corn and other crops with the help of their Indian friend Squanto. He showed the Pilgrims a neat trick. If you plant corn with some fish, it will fertilize the seed and grow better corn. A chorus of Pilgrims chanted, 5, 6, plant with fish sticks. As the Pilgrims put in the fish sticks, Squanto explained to the audience, you're supposed to use real fish, but that would stink up the whole school. As the Pilgrims watered the corn, Amelia Bedelia slowly pulled it on a string. Corn appeared to grow up to the sky. In the audience, a child yelled out, look, those fish sticks really work. The narrator continued. The Pilgrims took good care of their crops. Squanto taught them how to fish and hunt. Working together, said the narrator, they gathered enough meat and fish to last through the coming winter. Backstage, Amelia Bedelia stood on a ladder. She flung colored leaves to show that it was fall. Suddenly, she lost her balance, the ladder tipped over, and squash. Luckily, the pumpkin broke her fall. Uh-oh, said Amelia Bedelia. I squashed Cousin Alcolu's squash. The boy in charge of the cart did not notice Amelia Bedelia, and he wheeled it out on stage. The narrator continued. When autumn arrived, the Pilgrims harvested corn, beans, and squash. They also gathered nuts. Mr. Rogers saw Amelia Bedelia being pulled out of the pumpkin. He said to Mrs. Rogers, that is one big nut, all right. I hope she didn't break her leg. They were relieved to see Amelia Bedelia tiptoe off stage. In fact, said the narrator, the Pilgrims had so much food that they decided to have a feast to celebrate and give thanks. As they pretended to cook, a chorus of Pilgrim girls sang, 7, 8, set out the plates, 9, 10, invite our Indian friends. They cooked and cooked, said the narrator, and they never used a microwave. The audience clapped. Since that first Thanksgiving lasted for 3 days, there weren't any leftovers. The audience clapped even louder. Pilgrims and Indians competed in games, but win or lose, they were all good sports. The audience cheered. There was plenty of food, said the narrator. A large roll stepped out on stage. A big ham joined her. They both got plenty of applause. Their parents were very proud. Of course, said the narrator, there was a ton of turkey. When Diana made her entrance, the audience went wild. Uh-oh, said Amelia Bedelia to herself. Diana looks pretty nervous. I'll bet she forgot to say what to say. Amelia Bedelia called out from backstage, Psst! Diana, she whispered loudly, you're supposed to say gobble gobble. Say gobble gobble. All the other kids heard Amelia Bedelia. They thought she was talking to them. They did exactly what she told them to. Gobble gobble. Gobble gobble, gobble gobble. The whole audience joined in. It sounded like a flock of turkeys had been let loose in the school. 2 children carried out a giant wishbone. As they snapped it, the entire cast hollered, we wish you a happy Thanksgiving. As Diana turned around to watch, she lost her balance and fell off the stage. Right into the arms of Mrs. Carson. The audience thought it was part of the play. They stood up and clapped loudly. Bravo! Hooray! The cast party was great fun. Amelia Bedelia's sweet potatoes were a hit. So was Diana. All the kids surrounded her. The boy who had called her Turkey said, Diana, you deserve a new nickname. We'd like to call you Wings because you winged it and flew off the stage. What do you say? Diana nodded, smiled, and said, gobble, gobble. Mrs. Bloom and Mrs. Carson joined the party. Hi, Mrs. Carson, said Amelia Bedelia. Thank you for acting in the pageant. I made a lucky catch, said Mrs. Carson. Sometimes an acting principal has to act fast. I'm glad you did it, said Diana. I almost got the stuffing knocked out of me. Amelia Bedelia, said Mrs. Bloom, this Thanksgiving I am thankful for you and Cousin Alcolu. I am thankful too, said Amelia Bedelia. I am thankful that no one broke a leg. Or a drumstick, said Cousin Alcolu. Well done, said Mr. Rogers. I am thankful for the both of you. This is the first Thanksgiving pageant I have been to that wasn't a turkey. Mrs. Rogers noticed that the pumpkin's blue ribbon was stuck on Amelia Bedelia. She plucked it off and put it on Diana. Congratulations, she said. Your prize-winning pair. On their way home, Mr. Rogers said, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I look forward to carving the turkey. Amelia Bedelia was very impressed. She had no idea that he was a sculptor. I love Thanksgiving too, said Mrs. Rogers. No presents to buy, wrap, or return. That's true, said Amelia Bedelia. It's all about family and food. I've got a new recipe for sweet potatoes. I can't wait to try it, said Mr. Rogers. You're a Thanksgiving expert by now. Not yet, said Amelia Bedelia. There's one thing I was wondering. When you count your blessings and you run out of fingers, is it okay to use your toes? Mr. and Mrs. Rogers looked at each other. Neither of them spoke for a while. Then Mrs. Rogers said, yes, of course. Mr. Rogers added, that's what we will do. And he pulled into their driveway. Home, sweet home, said Amelia Bedelia. The end. That was hilarious, but me and Heather were rolling. Our next story, because we're going to wrap it up, or try to anyway, is a Thanksgiving story. So we're going to show you and explain the Thanksgiving story. We have 3 more stories after that, but we're going to try and get through it real quick. So, the Thanksgiving story, this is written by Russell Reese, illustrated by Bob Legolinaire, and we have felt pieces, so you will see felt pieces where my face is. A long time ago, a small ship called the Mayflower came to America. On this ship, there were people called Pilgrims. They came to America in search of a place to live, work, and do anything as they pleased. It took the Pilgrims a long time to sail across the ocean. Finally, they arrived in America at a place named Plymouth. It was winter and very cold when they built their new homes. Their food was almost gone. Many Pilgrims passed that winter in the new land because of the harsh weather and because there was not enough food. One day in spring, an Indian came to the Pilgrims' little village. The Pilgrims were surprised by the Indian, but they welcomed him. Soon the Pilgrims made friends with more Indians who lived near Plymouth. The Indians helped the Pilgrims by showing them how to hunt and fish for food. The Pilgrims learned from an Indian named Squanto how to plant corn, pumpkins, and beans. Squanto taught the Pilgrims how to grow corn by putting a fish in the hole with the seeds. The fish fertilized the soil to help the corn grow. The Pilgrims waited all summer for the seeds they had planted to grow. The sun shone on their plants, and then they had the rain that came and watered them. By the end of the summer, the plants were way bigger and ready to be harvested. The Pilgrims gathered and stored food from the plants. They had enough food to last for a long time. So there's our corn. Everyone was so happy. The Pilgrims decided to have a big feast to give for thanks for their homes, friends, families, and for the wonderful harvest that they had. The Pilgrims were thankful to have the Indians as friends, so they invited them to share in the feast. When the day of the feast arrived, the Pilgrims set up a huge table and covered it with all kinds of fruits, vegetables, pies, and other tasty foods. Many Indians came, bringing with them wild turkeys and deer that they had hunted with bows and arrows. For 3 days, the Indians and Pilgrims feasted and played games. Everyone sat down to eat, but before they began eating, they bowed their heads and gave thanks for the many blessings that they had. That is why on Thanksgiving Day, we should do like the Pilgrims and remember to give thanks for all the good things that we have and that we are able to do. The end. So I hope you enjoyed that because it's our cute little felt story. Our next story is The Night Before Thanksgiving. It is written by Natasha Wing. The pictures are illustrated by Tammy Lyon. And it is published by Bracelet and Dunlap Publishers, and it's hilarious. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving, and all through the nation, families got ready for the big celebration. At our house, my mom baked 3 kinds of pies: pecan, pumpkin, and an apple surprise. Sounds pretty good. That night, we were nestled all snug in our beds while visions of turkey legs danced in our heads. The very next morning, Thanksgiving, yippee! We got up and watched the parade on TV. Relatives arrived from near and far by taxi and airplane, by train and by car. My brother came up from the basement stairs, lugging the kids' table and the folding chairs. We counted and polished our very best silverware. Then we set 2 tables with patience and care. The turkey went in, and as more cousins came, I laughed and I shouted and I called them by name. Hi, Danny. Hi, Donnie. Hi, Paul and Vicky. Hi, Casey. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Brenda and Vicky. Come in from the porch, step into the hall. Now come and play, come and play, come and play all. So, up to my room, my cousins, they flew. We played with my toys and my computer games, too. We made pilgrim hats and funny shoe buckles. Then we put on a skit for all of our aunts and our uncles. All were assembled except for Uncle Norm, who called us to say that he was stuck in a storm. Meanwhile, my mother was getting out yams, cranberry jelly, and honey-baked hams. When Mom wasn't looking, we stuck olives on our fingers so they were puppets and grand opera singers. While dinner was cooking, we played dodgeball outside. Our tummies were growling. Can we eat yet? We cried. The timer then sounded. The turkey was cooked. Mom opened the oven, we sniffed, and she looked. When, what to our watering mouths should appear but a marvelous bird which caused us to cheer. Its skin, oh so golden, the drumsticks, oh so juicy. The stuffing was fluffy, thanks to my dad and Aunt Lucy. Dad slid out the bird. It weighed 30 pounds. He turned, then he tripped over one of our hounds. Up in the air, the turkey did fly, over the string beans and straight for a pie. My brother and I made such a clatter as we leapt and caught the bird on the platter. All right, said Grandpa, get on with the carving. Can't you see that these people are starving? Dad spoke not a word, but he went straight to his work. He sliced up the turkey and then turned with a jerk. In front of our house, we heard beeps of a horn. A trucker delivered none other than Norm. With a wink of his eye and a twist of his head, the party can start. I made it, Norm said. We all took our places. The food smelled so great. We started to dig in, but Dad said, wait. We're thankful that everyone this year is together and our home and our hearts where we hold you so dear. We ate and we ate, yet last but not least, the very next day was a leftovers feast. And the end. So if you're at home and you can do this, because I'm not going to stand up, but I will do it with you. So it's to the tune of Teddy Bear, and it's called Big Turkey. So big turkey, turn around. Big turkey, touch the ground. Big turkey, walk and wobble. Big turkey, say gobble, 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 gobble. Good job. Okay, our next book is How to Catch a Turkey. And it says that no turkeys were harmed in the making of this book. Let's hope not. It is written by, does not say. Okay, well, it's published by Sorcerer Books Jabberwocky, and it's from the New York Times best-selling team of Adam Wallace and Andy Elberton. So, here we are on Thanksgiving Day. It's that special time of year. Yes, I know, I am a turkey. That much should be clear. So gather around the table. I have quite a story to tell. What I tell you now is not a joke. It is my crowning glory. So hopefully he'll get away. It all began 1 year ago. I was at a school, you see. Play preparations were underway, but that didn't matter to me. Some kids walked by in silly clothes talking about the play. We'll even have a turkey on stage. It's perfect for Thanksgiving Day. Turkey, stage, no way, no how. Had I really heard that right, I broke out of my pen and ran away with a bad case of stage fright. I burst into the science room. I knocked over flasks and beakers, and the cry of, "Catch that turkey!" boomed over the loudspeakers. So no more children joined the chase with catapults and food, but their goopy mashed potatoes weren't enough to keep me glued. Up next, there was a maze of books that stretched from wall to wall, but with a big hop and a mighty flap, I managed to escape it all. I ducked past chairs and bags and desks. Now that was quite the trick. The kids thought they could stop me here, but I was much too quick. I ran outside to the jungle gym thinking I could hide, but the recess yard was all tricked out. I'd have better luck inside. Finally, the kids gave up, but the principal gave chase. My only hope of escaping her was keeping up my pace. I slid into the coach's room and crashed right into a chair. I got tangled up in jerseys, but I won't get stuck in there. I ran into a curtain. There was nowhere else to go. I couldn't get past the principal, but the curtain led to the show. My heart was racing. I started to sweat. I couldn't squawk or run. I'd be scared too. I took a deep breath. I can do this. Who knows? This might be fun. A kid stood up and pointed. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. He really is, the parent agreed, in his little mascot shirt. I started to smile and even dance while the crowd continued to cheer. I was filled with joy that I took the chance, and that's what started my mascot career. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And I hope you enjoyed that. It's so cute. So our next one that we have, let's see if it's too long. If it's too long, we're not going to do it. It's too long. Our next thing that we have is our craft bag. So this is what you're going to get this week. We have a maze of an Indian, a pilgrim. We have a pilgrim drawing. Some fun activities that you can do at home with your Thanksgiving drawing of the pilgrim boy and the pilgrim girl. We have the horns of plenty that you can color. We have how to fold a cootie catcher. So here's your cootie catcher. It's got cool little Thanksgiving jokes on it. We have today I am thankful for, and you can write and draw what you're thankful for. I have an I spy that you can do, see what you can find. We're going to plant seeds of friendship by telling what you can help learn, what you can do. There's a picture of a turkey you can color. We have thank you, Squanto. So you use these words up here and you write Squanto a thank you letter from a thankful pilgrim. So you can act like you're a pilgrim. There's a cool turkey game that you have at home that you can play with this little dice block you'll cut out and glue together, or tape. We have a neat puzzle you can cut out and put together at home of the Mayflower. We have a turkey headband that you can make at home and color. We have the gobbler, which is your own turkey you can make at home and put what you're thankful for on his feathers around him. So you will cut it out and glue it. So next we have a sticker sheet. So we have what is Plymouth Rock, and then we have Indians, Pilgrims, the Mayflower. You decorate it with your stickers. It's really neat. Then we have these two little things that I'm going to show you. We have these. You get to make your own little teepee with a paper bag. So you just follow the instructions up here. You will cut these apart, make sure the bag's flat. You'll make a little insert right here and decorate it the way you would want your teepee to look if you were an Indian. And then we have this neat little tree that you can put on a piece of paper at home or on the back of one of those papers we have. And then you will glue these little leaves all around it. So it's like a cute little fall tree. And then the older ones will get a Thanksgiving story bracelet. So this tells the meaning of Thanksgiving, and you will get a little bracelet with some stickers that you can make at home. That way you know it is your Thanksgiving bracelet that you made. So we want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.